Well, let me ask you, what is it that that you have observed that people come to you with in relation to the challenges of getting married?
AlMaghrib Institute presents Q&A with Kamal al-Mekki.
I don't know if it's changed in 1400 years. The same thing when the Prophet ﷺ, when the matchmaker Khawla bint Hakim asked him, why don't you get married? And he said, no money.
Right.
I don't know if it's changed much. A student comes to you and is like, I'm studying full time. I can only work part time at best.
Yeah.
It's not enough to have a home and get married. And so what do we do?
I mean, that's the basic rite of passage in American society, at least, is like, you are ready to, start a family.
Yeah.
Is if one, you can get around, right? You got a license, you got a car, right? You have a source of income, right? Which many times in the immigrant community also entails that you have completed some level of degree and have gotten a position in a career role. And in addition to that, perhaps you've also got your own place that you're taking care of. And finally, you've done your own taxes. Right?
Okay.
I think the taxes one is an addition.
No, but it's true though, because once you get, if somebody's living on their own, they're starting a family, and they're going to their mom and pop, be like, "Hey, can you do my taxes?" They're like, "Wait, aren't you an adult?" Like that's like the most adult defining thing that you could do, is you do your own taxes.
I guess we're still not mature yet.
No, I mean, like, granted, you might outsource it, right?
Yeah.
Right, but you've taken ownership of that. Like that's like the pinnacle. Like beyond that, it's like I would say.
Well, people right now adulting, they're YouTubing how to boil eggs and how to. No, these are things that people are actually looking up. So
pandemic period.
Okay. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say 6 minutes to get the water to boil. 6 minutes, and then let cool for 6 minutes with a new set of cold water, and you got
on
yourself,
how much heat?
On the stove, you just set it to max. Get the water to boil.
It's continued to boil, right?
Right. Get it to boil. Throw the eggs in. Don't throw them. Make sure you put it in after it's boiling. 6 minutes. Right.
Hard boil or
this
runny?
is for soft boiled.
Soft boil.
Yes.
Runny bardo with the spoon.
What I do is I crack both ends and then peel it off and then down it.
Okay.
And it's just like an eclair.
I don't like hard boiled eggs.
You don't, huh?
Not really.
They're hard to eat. It doesn't go down easy. Hard boiled eggs are great for deviled eggs.
I used to love the runny eggs, the soft.
Yeah.
When we were in Russia, it was my breakfast every morning, like just with a spoon. It was dripping. Now I cannot tolerate that. It has to be dry, like powder. The yolk just powder.
Oy.
I'm the opposite. I was introduced to sunny side eggs like way into my adulthood.
Really?
Way into my adulthood. We don't do that stuff. What do you mean there's no
Where-
sunny side up
Where'd you grow
eggs?
up? Oh.
I grew up in New York. But I grew up in a Sudanese household. Where are we going to do sunny side eggs?
We do sunny side eggs, man.
Not at all.
What?
Not my family,
I
at
guess
least.
not. I guess not.
Is there a geographic
It was actually
difference?
a Pakistani kid who I used to go and sometimes stay with. And so he was like, I'm going to introduce you to sunny side up eggs. Cracked it open, flips it, toast, salt and pepper. Beautiful. Amazing.
This.
I'm like, I was like, where have I been?
I mean, I guess it's not fair to, because when I was in Russia, it was just a short period of time.
How long was the short period?
This was when it was just vacation.
Oh, okay.
But we traveled around Russia and Europe by train, and but this was during the communist era. So the Russian caviar.
You went to vacation in communist Russia?
Oh yeah. Oh, man, the best times ever. Let me just give you one example. Russian caviar today from the sturgeon fish.
Okay.
That's tens of thousands of dollars a can. You know how much I used to eat it for? It used to cost us back then 16 US cents.
Oh, wow.
Communism.
Man, that was my breakfast with butter and Russian caviar every morning and that runny egg. Man, oh man. Now I can't even to sniff it. You probably need to pay $50 just to smell it. So I always tell people I had it. Alhamdulillah, I'm done.
Yeah.
How do we get to eggs, man?
No, we were talking about adulting, right?
Yeah.
And I just kind of threw in the whole because you were talking about people learning.
So we're talking about marriage and basically what are the.
So before we proceed, I want to bring attention to the fact that look at it's beautiful, the placement of these verses. So remember we were going through, the punishment for this and that, the incident of the ifk, and then lowering the gaze, it's related to zina, rules of visitation still related to zina, and then the solution. So the verses are amazing. That just being placed there, encouraging people to it's actually not telling people to marry. You find this a mistranslation. Yeah, وَأَنْكِحُوا الْأَيَامَ مِنْكُمْ الْأَيِّمْ is the one that doesn't have a spouse.
Okay.
So it's not saying in the translation. A lot of translations they write and marry those who don't have a spouse from amongst you. So that makes it sound like the verse is telling you to go out and marry people, but it's not saying that. وَأَنْكِحُوا هِنَا يعني
Wed them.
you marry them off. You go wed them to it. Whoever's single in the community, go marry them off and help them financially.
Yeah.
And then Allah will take care of the rest also.
Okay.
You know, so it's beautiful that it's a solution. It's not just don't come near zina and then there's no solution. But here are some of the solutions: lowering the gaze, rules of
So
visitation.
this is not an order to an individual. This is a communal order.
Absolutely.